pay attention to our league here. The league doesn't have sponsorship. The league produces players. Look at all those players in the national team now. They all at one point or the other played in the domestic league here. If you don't have a league that will bring out these players now functioning, then what is the future of our football? And at the end of the day, these guys, they only play for the league here. There's nothing like the CAF Champions League for women. They haven't started that one yet. So they play for the league and hope to get offers abroad to go for greener pastures and what have you. So it's a shame, but that is where we find ourselves. It's no fault of these girls, no fault of the coaches. If you like, bring Jose Mourinho to come and coach the Super Falcons. They are not going to win the Women's World Cup over there in France. They are not. They don't have the quality. They don't have what it takes to do so.
All right, let's turn our focus to the game today. Chidubem, let's believe we are going to probably have a decent performance. Thomas Dennerby is spoiled for choice in attack, meaning we have, of course, good attackers. There's Desire Paranozi, Anna Mimo, Asisa Toshola. There are names who can start off from the flanks and also lead the line. Which players do you should start this game? There's a certain Uche Nakalo, a little revelation we had in the Wafu Cup. Which one or two players do you feel should definitely be starting this game tonight?
I think the coach for Dennerby Thomas Dennerby now should just stick with what has been working for him. Asisa definitely should be in that starting lineup. Desire Paranozi as well, and Francesca Odega as well. Then maybe some way somehow in the second half you can throw in the likes of Rashida Ajibade and particularly Uche Nakano now, because those currently with what they've been able to show us in recent times, they look like the brightest sparks. Rashida Ajibade at some point looked like she was going to be taking off shirts from Francesca Odega, but maybe a little decline from performance, especially at the AFCON. She was not as bright as a lot of us expected her to be. But I think in this competition, like I said, stick to what you know. Asisat definitely will do the run-ins for you. Desire Paranozi is there for, of course, getting the goals as well. Also has a little bit of pace on her side, and Francesca Odega with the flicks and tricks. So I think that will work for Thomas Dennerby. But how much that's going to counter whatever the Norwegians are going to bring is what is left to see. But that's the best we can offer, if you ask me.
Memeka Ada Hegerberg refused to join the Norwegian national team because she was protesting for the kind of support female football gets, not just in Norway alone, but I think that's where her focus was on. But in the world, she was talking just a few days ago. Would this be a huge, any kind of advantage for the Super Falcons? I mean, seeing the fact that the world best player, the first Ballon d'Or winner for the female category, is not going to be present in this World Cup for the Norwegian side.
No, you look back at that match against South Africa over the weekend, the friendly, I think their last beat-up game to the World Cup, she was not there.
True.
She has not been there for a long time now. It didn't start last year. I think over 2 years now she has not played for the national team due to disagreement with the authorities there over how female footballers are treated there and all that. She's one of those advocates for equality in terms of remuneration when it comes to female national team football for the men and women. She has not been there, so we shouldn't even talk about her. She's not in the picture. She will not play in the tournament. She didn't make the cut, and she didn't. They didn't select her for this one. So let's even take her away completely. South Africa missing a good opportunity there to take the lead, free kick there. But somehow got over the line, over the bar right there. So still goalless between South Africa and Spain in that encounter in Group B. But no advantage whatsoever. It could have been worse for us if she was there. She scored a hat-trick in the final of the UEFA Women's Champions League against Barcelona. Lyon won by 4-1. 3 goals coming from her right there. And I don't see that as an advantage. Yes, they have a lot of brilliant players. Norway, not a one-woman team, and if a team can score 7 goals against South Africa that we couldn't score one against in 180 minutes of football, it tells you that team has got lots of players that can get the goals. So I don't see that as an advantage. I don't even look at the fact that she's not there. Let our guests see what they can do to minimize the damage today. It's a question of damage limitation. Norway will come at us, and why are you laughing?
Emeka has given up already.
No, I count that game as the game they've lost even before it's played. But
it's reality.
Football is not done that way. But come on, if you look at put the two teams side by side and what they've been able to do so far, so good. They want to think they have the advantage, way ahead of us. And but I would like to be surprised. I would like our guests to prove me wrong. I've written them off already, even before the tournament started. I want them to prove me wrong. I would like surprises. I want them to surprise me.
All right, Chidubem, let me get your predictions for this one. What will be the scoreline from your crystal ball? Just have a nice view and tell me.
Norway 4, Nigeria 1.
Hi. Meka, tell me it's going to be 1-1.
I wish it will end that way, but come on, 3-0 in favor of Norway.
Wow. Let me just get the predictions of the guys before we move to the Super Eagles. 0817 0000951. 0810-951-0951. Of course, the ladies, you can call in also and tell us. We cry of followership for, of course, football. The females too, you can do as much as you can to call us in. Tell us where you feel our Super Falcons will be ending tonight. Some people believe some kind of miracle could happen and they would get to beat Norway or get a positive result. 0817 0000951. 0810-951-0951. Just keep your calls coming through. Of course, the text message portal remains 0701 9339 962.
No matter the stage, there's still room for greatness. No matter the stage, there's a bit of greatness in every man. There's power to rise. There's power to conquer. There's power inside. There's a gift of power in every man.
All right, we are back. And of course, updates coming in right there from the MPFL Super 6. Enyimba. Of course, the game is already on, and we hear it's goalless. That game should be in the 20th minute.
No, that's 11.
In 11 minutes now, as we speak. It was supposed to start 5 p.m. Maybe I'm sure. One or two. Yes, from the FC Fayuba game. All right, let's still get the predictions from the guys for the Super Falcons. Good evening, welcome to today's Sports Live.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Rachel, calling from Port Harcourt.
Rachel, welcome to the show.
Good evening, Mr.
Hey, Rachel, the Kano Pillars and Bayern Munich fan.
Staunch Bayern
And
Munich.
also the Super Falcons fans as well.
I hear you. The Super Falcons are beating like this tonight.
Let me talk about the game tonight. The Norwegian women national team versus the Super Falcons of Nigeria. I know when you talk about African football, the women dominate compared to the Super Eagles. They're talking about their men counterparts, and they've won the tournament 9 times. But the teams they come against, Niger Republic 15-0, Benin Republic 10-0, 20-0, but teams come against the more compacted teams, more organized team, resilient team like the likes of the Black Queens of Ghana. They find it difficult to beat them. They come against the Ivorian women national team. They find it difficult to break the defense. But I think I'm coming against the Norway to be very, very difficult for we to beat them. But in football, it's not mathematics. You never can tell. Nobody thought Ajax of beating Juventus against all us. So it's 11-11. I believe on Thomas Beneby to go and do it on the world stage. He has done it with the Swedish women national team. So we believe him to do it. But you never can tell. Let's see how it goes. You never can tell. But I'm not expecting the Super Falcons of Nigeria to beat Norway by 3 or 4-0 because they are not the Niger Republic of Africa. You understand? But at least a 2-1 victory in favor of the Super Falcons would be okay for me. But I really want them to prove Mr. Mika wrong that we are not just numbers to go and complete. Thank you.
So Rachel, your prediction is 2-1. Okay. I think she's predicting 2-1 in favor of the Super Falcons. But still keep your predictions. I think we'll still be able to take that. 0817 0000951 0810-951-0951. Of course, they are big brothers, or maybe they are brothers. Before some people argue, the Super Eagles will be coming up against Zimbabwe later tonight. Good evening, welcome to today's Sports Live.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Left, Right, Center, Honorable Baby. Call you all the way from Rumo Bayelsa. Chop Loko.
Honorable Bibi, welcome to the show.
Chop Loko.
Chop Nako, baby, chop Nako.
Hey, Oga Ibeka Nadal.
We hail you.
Chop Loko. Talking about the Super Falcons, my brother. If I say I'm expecting victory, I mean like pass for this wide world. Because if you want to compare this, if you want to look at the pedigree of the Norwegian side and that of the Super Falcons, they are miles apart. If you are giving yourself food because you are a Nigerian, that is good. But if you want to be realistic, I don't think we will be able to. If we get draw in that match, I think that should be a bonus for those girls. I am looking them even if I want to in that group. If any other, if they can get 3 points from any team from there, that should be from the Korean, which I don't even think will be possible because this, what do they call it, this Super Falcon, they know how to give you your hope, and at the end of the day, they dash it. You know how they used to work up what happened when the coach of, when their former coach told us that because they came from 2 goals down to draw 2-2, and they said because they added ball in his list, so you will not know what happened. And they raised our hope at the end of the day. We were expecting to get one more win, and we never saw that win.
Right.
So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not. My fingers are not crossed. I am not hopeful, but anything they bring, I will take them. That's me for you.
All right, thank you so much, Honorable Bibi. Good evening, welcome to the Sports Live.
Good evening to you, my chief.
The real
Good
gift.
evening, the real gift from the Tap Roots.
Thank you very much. Mr. AMD and other teams.
We hail you.
Good evening.
Well, for me, Super Falcons, I want to tell our good friend Rachel that there is no need for the Super Falcons to prove Mr. Emeka wrong, because those of us who they go prove wrong with plenty past firewood where they gather together. You know, it's unfortunate. They said there is no need for a chicken admiring a granite inside a bottle. And that is what is to happen this night. There is no comparison. Thomas then at the years, he did it with the Swedish team. I think they came third at that point in time. Look at the pedigree of the Swedish team in terms of female football vis-a-vis that of the Super Falcons on the international stage. We are not talking about continental levels here. As far as I'm concerned, forget about those friendlies where they play win. Bottom line, that today we will know whether really. And when the soldier arms enter where animals gather, how would they know the animal will be down? Thank you very much.
All right, but what's your prediction on the real gift? Hello.
Whoa, what a goal from South Africa.
What's your
beautiful
prediction,
screamer. Beautiful.
Please, that means if South Africa is leading right now, I believe.
Beautiful goal.
That's
Beautiful bullet from outside the box.
Oh my God. Well,
What a caller.
I expect South Africans to prove me wrong, but
no.
I mean, scoreline. The scoreline should be at least Nigeria 1, Norway 6. Thank you very much.
Good evening, welcome to today's Sports Live.
Hello, good evening, my brother.
Good evening, welcome to the show. Your name and where you're calling us from?
This is Gostan from Abba.
Mr. Gostan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my brother. You see, anytime we put eye on this our player, they always do things wrong. We should allow them to go to know how come about this match, my brother. Look at this Fly Eagles. That's how they do that. They crash out. Tony Joshua crash out. Even this one again. Everybody put out this one again. To crash out. Yeah. What I'm saying is that we Nigerians, we are not called for prayers, but we should allow them to see what will happen.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Gostan. What a screamer from
Mothalo.
Beautiful.
No, that's the best female footballer in Africa.
Beautiful.
Tembi Gatlana.
I tell
What
you,
a goal
classic.
from her. I mean, from just outside the box, the goalkeeper tried, came close, but come on, she couldn't get that one. Long range effort there from Tembi, putting South Africa in front ahead of Spain in that Group B encounter at the World Cup.
I think we already have one of the goals
Of the tournament.
Of the tournament, I tell you.
Contenders.
You can easily pass for the goal of the
Beautiful.
tournament
It
in
just
the end,
it reminds you of a continual kind of finish. Brilliant finish, cuts into our right foot and then release the thunderbolt strike. Beautiful from Tembe.
All right.
Our comedy woman.
I tell you. I hope assistance is
I
watching.
hope. I just wanted to just brought it out of my mouth. I hope my sister
They should surprise me tonight.
would
man.
be able to score this kind of even if they end up losing, but with this kind of brilliance, brilliant goal. I tell you from Thembi.
They've been dangerous on the counter. I mean, the Spaniards they've been classic Spanish side, passing the ball all around.
True.
I mean, making the South Africans sit deep. But on the counter, they've been very, very fast, quick on the counter, quite reminiscent of Liverpool's style of play. They are comfortable letting Spain have all the ball and play around with the ball in the IT box. But once they get that ball, it's off the goal and they are very dangerous. The Spaniards will have to do more to contain the South Africans.
No matter the stage, there's a bit of greatness.
Of course, the big boys, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they will play host to Zimbabwe today in a pre-2019 Africa Cup of Nations friendly at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba. And Gernot Roy is expected to keep a close eye on some players whose spots aren't guaranteed. The Zimbabwean Warriors will be seeking their first win against the Nigerian Super Eagles, having played in the COSAFA Cup, which rounded up last week, where it won one match against Comoros, drew 2 against Zambia and Lesotho. Meanwhile, Nigeria, which have won all 4 of their last encounters against the Zimbabweans, conceding just 1 goal and scoring 11 goals, will seek to enlarge the gap to consecutive wins. Nigeria recently beat Egypt at the same venue, 1-0. Zimbabwe have travelled with almost the entire team that were selected for the AFCON finals. 4 players, however, are going to follow since they were left in South Africa. Gernot Roy has said that he would like to rotate players so as to assess them all ahead of the AFCON final. I'll quote him now. He said, "I want to see a lot of players who are not playing so much. Give them the opportunity to play against Zimbabwe. It can be for some defenders like Balogun. He's fit, but he didn't play so much in the regular season for his club. So we want to see him play on Saturday. And also some players like Kelechi." That's talking about Kelechi Iheanacho. Meanwhile, Raw has also revealed that Fortuna Dusseldorf goalkeeper Maduka Okoye would have been invited to the national team if not for injury. The Super Eagles goalkeeping position has been an area of debate and concern following the retirement of Kali Keme due to health-related issues, and the problem has continued as the country's regular starter Francis Uzoho was largely inactive in the second half of the 2018-2019 campaign. Although Raw also has at his disposal Kaiser Chiefs Daniel Akpeyi and Katsina United's Ikechukwu Ezenwa, Nigerians are still apprehensive about the quality of the two goalkeepers. Let me quote Raw now. This is what he said, and I quote, "If you know one better than the 3 we have, please tell me. With our scouting team, we are watching all over the world and we didn't find a better one. There is one playing in Dusseldorf in Germany. We are watching him. He had a little injury. We could not invite him to see, but we are still working on this very important department. Honestly, today, I don't know who is number 1. We had the number 1 in the World Cup. Very, very young goalkeeper. I took a big risk, but he did well. And then he had a difficult situation in the club." Coach of the Super Eagles, Gernot Roy, right there. And of course, Chidubem, let me not start with the goalkeeping department. Let me just start off with today's game. Who are the players likely to start against Zimbabwe, and what formation will Gernot Roy deploy today?
The lineup is out already, and we've got, who could have guessed that Akpeyi is in goal for Nigeria? Does that give us a taste of what we should expect at the AFCON? Perhaps. Kenneth Omero makes it to the back line alongside Balogun, so we're not going to be seeing Trustek in this one, perhaps because he arrived camp late. Jamiu Collins as well is at left back. Why? I know from Torino now makes it as well to the defense. In midfield, Captain Fantastic John Mikel Obi. He's also the captain for tonight. Alexi Iwobi makes up that defense midfield pairing with Ogenekaro Etebo. On the flanks, we've got Samuel Chukwueze, surprise. And his namesake, Samuel Kalu, is also on the other side of the flank, the right flank. And who leads the line for us? Paul Onuachu.
Wow. They say it's the players who will be fighting for their spots, but I tell you, this is a star-studded side. We must look for a way, of course, to see that game.
Yes, on the bench. Francis is always on the bench. We've got Onyekuru as well, Victor Osimhen, Ahmed Musa, Chidozia Waziem, Kelechi Iheanacho, John Ogu, Trust Ekong, Semi Ajayi, as well as Moses Simon.
Well, I tell you, it looks like a compact side. But, of course, Chidubem, you've already, reeled out the lineups to us. But let me get to Emeka. This is probably going to be the best opportunities for some players to impress Coach Gernot Rohr. It's clear that after this game, some names will be dropped.
Just two players.
Two players will be dropped. I tell you, that's leaving 23 right there that will be going to the AFCON. It was actually a provisional 25-man list. Emeka, which names do you think would need to give their best to save their lives tonight?
He's not starting. I think it gives us a little inkling that he might be going to Egypt, because I'm looking at this squad, and I think Chukwueze is probably here because he needs to prove a point. Iheanacho should be starting this game if the coach feels he's not comfortable with him or he's doubtful of his chances. But the fact that he's on the bench, I mean, it gives us a little inkling.
I was listening to him. That was yesterday. He was talking about the fact that Kelechi Iheanacho he has shown something different that is better than he has ever seen him play, but he's lacking in confidence. Could that just be a sign?
Definitely. If he's lacking in confidence comes with playing games. When you play games and do well in games, the confidence arises. But he's been out of action for a very long time, and you can understand why he is deep in confidence. But I think with his little strings of efforts for the Super Eagles in the past, I think maybe the coach might be looking at that and say there are some players we can tell that when it comes to national team performance, they are quite very, very fantastic, and they go to their clubs and somehow they don't cut it at that level. So maybe the coach, like we all know him to do, is he works with a very limited squad. He's not one that tries to experiment. So he might want to stick with what he's seen of Kelechi. Like they say, the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. He's seen Kelechi play before. Kelechi has done quite well for the team, for the national team, as a matter of fact, in times past. His partnership with Alex Iwobi at a point was very, very key to whatever the Super Eagles did, qualifying for the World Cup as well as the AFCON. So I think maybe Gernot Rohr is looking at Kelechi at this point and thinking, with what he knows of him from time past, it might be easier to work with him and just try to lift up his spirit a bit and see if he can fit in, rather than going into gamble with the newbies, the Chukwuezes of this world and all that. But the decision is left for him to make, and I think he's going to be making that in the coming hours.
Emeka, should Kelechi Iheanacho be going to the AFCON?
On the basis of performance, no. At club level, he barely played football for Leicester City, managing only one goal, all through the season, despite that big money move from City to Leicester. I mean, he struggled practically, and of course, you don't want to take a player with that sort of form. I mean, we also saw him in the game involving Leicester and Liverpool. Leicester and Man City, where he missed a glorious opportunity.
True, that could have even helped Liverpool get back to the league.
Somehow the confidence level is down. But like Chidubem already stated, he's one man. Yes, even at national team level, he struggled recently. But remember when Rohr came into when he got the job newly, Iheanacho was the one delivering the goods for the Super Eagles. He was scoring in every other game. His very first game, as manager of the Super Eagles, Iheanacho scored in that game against Tanzania. It was the dead rubber AFCON qualifier, but Iheanacho scored in that 1-0 victory over Tanzania in Uyo, and he didn't look back from then on. And of course, I don't know whether that will still count, but if you look at what this man has done recently at club level, then you want to think he doesn't have any chance of making it to the AFCON. And if you have to go by the players' form, you're not even supposed to have a Leon Balogun in that team because he barely played football for Brighton too. So the man is not obviously going based on the form of the players. I think Rohr has a way of keeping faith with a squad, whether they are good or bad, whether the players are not playing well at the club or not. He has a way of keeping faith with them, and that's what he has shown. Balogun is starting today. Iheanacho is on the bench, and you expect him to see action at some point. And at the end of the day, before they go to Egypt to play, Senegal, this is the last game, and you look at the starting 11 today. You want to think every other player here, should make it to the AFCON. Omero, based on form, should be the number one defender.
True.
Trustekon did not arrive early. I think he came in yesterday or so. He didn't arrive early. Didn't have a lot of time training with the team before this match. So expectedly, you'd expect him to start that one.
But he's already on the train to Egypt.
But of course, he's going to Egypt. Jamilu Collins, he's the best left back we have right now in that team. Shehu also arrived late. He's not playing. We have Olai playing, as right back today. And of course, Mikel Obi is back in the team. It will be good to see him. He's been away for about a year now. So he's back in the team. He's starting. He's captain of the side. Alex Iwobi, did quite well with Arsenal, even though most of those appearances was as a bench warmer. And at the end of the day, we have Ogeneka Retebo, Stoke City player of the season. Samuel Chukwu is a wonderful player. Could have gone to the World Cup at the Under-20 World Cup, but come on, started to play for the Super Eagles, and I'm sure he'll be going to the AFCON as well. Samuel Carlo is back in the team after the injury layoff. I think he should also make it to the AFCON squad there. Paul Onuachu, nobody forgets his debut goal for Nigeria. Okay, his first goal for Nigeria against Egypt in less than 10 seconds. That's Nigeria's fastest goal in internationally, as it were. So that is still counting for him, and he could also be on his way to Egypt for the AFCON. So most of the guys starting today, you want to think they will make it. But
Emeka, you've been calling all the names, and everybody should go. But two people will not go.
Yeah, 2 people will not go.
That's
we don't have all the 25 players listed for this game today.
But
Henry Onyekuru is not here.
Yeah.
He's not even listed on the bench.
On the bench.
Is he? No, he's not on the bench.
He's on the bench.
He's on the bench today. My thinking is that he will be dropped. Himself and Kelechi Iheanacho could be dropped at the end of the day. Henry Onyekuru and Iheanacho. I don't see any other player. Samuel Carlo, was one of our finest players before the injury knocked him out of the last 2 games we played against Seychelles and Egypt. The friendly, yeah, exactly. It was brilliant before then. I think if he plays well today too, Laurent has seen him already in training these few days, and I think he should be on that plane. I would prefer him to Onyekuru. Up front we have Odion Igalo, we have Onuachu, and so Musa is also there as a makeshift 9 too, if we want to deploy him in that position. We saw him do that at the World Cup. So I'm thinking that Onyekuru and Kelechi Iheanacho might be sacrificed at the end of the day.
How about Semi Ajayi?
I wanted to even ask some believe one defender and one attacker should be going, and not just maybe 2 strikers, in quote. Some believe Semi Ajayi, he's one of the most outstanding players in Rotherham. Take nothing away from that, but some believe one person, I'm not just going for Semi Ajayi, either Leon Balogun, Semi Ajayi, or even Ola Aino.
Ola Aino will make it. Yes, I think Ola Aino will make it. Save for injury, any other
performance for club side. Ola Aino for me is one of the best to actually make it to the AFCON. But the question is, how often does Gernot Rohr work with Ola Aino?
No, the thing is, for Ola Aino, yes, you look at where he's going to be playing. Most likely going to be playing at the right back position, and we don't have too many options there.
Shehu Abdullahi is there already.
Shehu Abdullahi is there, but these days it's not the best of what we've seen from Shehu. So along would always count. He will always look like a player that could sneak in at some point if Shehu fails to deliver. But for Semi Ajayi, I don't think the coach has really had faith in him over time. There are times when he has invited him and he doesn't even give him a chance to play. Doesn't even give him a few minutes.
He does that to a lot of players. Uchabo barely kicks football for Super Eagles, but he was invited every other time. John Ogu, the same thing. He was invited every other time.
True, but I think, yes, I think when it comes to if the coach has to put a player on the line, I think Semi Ajayi would be one of those players to leave, because he's not his biggest fan. And the thing about Gernot Rohr is that if he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you.
But he keeps inviting these players.
for friendlies, and because he has to invite them. But at this point, you have to allow at least 2 of them to go. So he doesn't have a choice. And I think
Semi Ajayi, for you to do Semi Ajayi,
I think Semi Ajayi will be leaving.
And
I'm thinking about Henry Onyekuru. But I hope that the noise from the fans in Nigeria, because we know the influence the Nigerian fans can have. Because Henry Onyekuru is one player that has been fantastic for his club, no doubt, and the Nigerians love him. They have been clamoring for him. Except that plays a part somehow in his selection. But I think Henry Onyekuru should leave because Samuel Kalu is back, and Gernot Rohr has not hidden his love for Samuel Kalu. He admires the player. Even when he was injured for Bordeaux, he kept talking about giving reassurance and talking about giving us updates on his injuries and all that. That tells you that the man is really interested in Samuel Kalu, and Samuel Kalu definitely has performed for the team. So I think Henry Onyekuru or Victor Osimhen, one of those 2 will be leaving.
Wow.
I haven't forgot Victor Osimhen is in that
He's
team.
in the team, I tell you. We are really spoiled for choice when it comes to the wings and of course the attack, just the 0.9. But I'll be opening the phone lines. For the first time, I'm hearing Onyekuru should be dropped. This is a guy wanted by AC Milan and Bayern Munich. We hear that he could be just, if he will be willing to sit on the bench and play supporting role, of course, in Bayern Munich, he might just be moving over to that side. And the guys are saying he should be dropped. But what do you think? Which two players do you think should be dropped from the 25-man squad put out by Gernot Rohr? 0817 0000951 0810 9510 951. Good evening, welcome to today's Sports Live.
Yes. Obina, my brother, I greet you once again.
Obina, welcome back.
Emeka, like Chidubem just rightly said, I don't know why Kelechi Iheanacho is on the bench. Sometime last week, Emeka, you always tell us to act as alleged. It was alleged that there is pressure from Glass House for Gernot Rohr to take Iheanacho to this Nations Cup. Even though some persons came up that same last week and told us that they just advised that there was no pressure. But based on what we are seeing now, why would we be calling Onyekuru in a team that has Iheanacho? Like Obina said, he's the guy that Bayern and AC Milan are running after. And you're telling me to take Iheanacho that cannot play any match for Leicester City? Talking about Gernot Rohr rotating this team, this is your second to last friendly that you're playing. After this, I guess you're playing Senegal, right?
That's in Egypt.
Why would you be still thinking with a team to this point? I expected him to at least play 95% of the teams that he's going to take to the World Cup, to the Nations Cup. I don't know what about this experiment. If he's asking for the goalkeeper, that I should suggest a goalkeeper for him. Believe you me, the goalkeeper I watched at Yakubu Gowon Stadium, today Lobby Stars came here and played with Rivers United. We bench we bench the other one that what's his name? The one that went to the World Cup.
Francis Uzoho.
We bench Uzoho comfortably, very, very comfortably. Iheanacho and Mikel. We should not be calling these two players in 2019. Tell me Mikel is going down for experience. Tell me he's going as a squad player. But I tell you, the Gernot Rohr I know will play Mikel 95 minutes.
All right, Obina. Thank you so much right there for your thoughts. Good evening. Welcome to today's Sports Live.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Good evening. It's Barrister Luke calling you from Anthony.
Barrister Luke, welcome to the show.
I think Iheanacho should be dropped.
Okay. Who else should join Iheanacho? Go ahead.
Paul Onachu.
Oh, okay.
I think he should be dropped.
Okay. All right.
I told you that the women, they are going to win. And we are going to win today by 3-1.
Okay. Thank you so much, Barrister. Good evening, welcome to today's Sports Live. Okay, we lost that one. Of course, the predictions are beginning to come in. He believes the Super Falcons will beat Norway by 3-1. The first person on the path of Norway to the Super Falcons.
Well, Obina, I've heard a few callers talk about the fact that they want some players to be there and in and around. But I just want to put things straight. When you asked me, I was actually talking about what I felt Gernot Rohr, what I feel Gernot Rohr is going to do, not my stance. Because if you ask me about my own stance, I don't think Kelechi Iheanacho should be going to the AFCON. But then Gernot Rohr is another man on his own, and he has his own decision to make.
All right, back to the phone lines. Good evening, welcome to today's Sports Live.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from?
You say good evening to Emeka and then Chidubem.
Good evening.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. As for our Super Eagles, I'll suggest the coach drop Kelechi and this guy Balogun.
Okay.
Because it was because of he has a good collabo with this guy Ekong. Yes. Then I would have suggested you drop him. But I think this guy should then try. They should give this guy a chance. So that let's see what he will do.
All right, Faith. So for his Leon Balogun and Kelechi Iheanacho. Good evening, welcome to today's Sports Live.
Good evening, bro.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Simon from Rumodmaya.
Simon, welcome to the show.
Very fine. Let me start my own. First thing from the defense department. Semi Ajayi should be dropped. I know he will drop him at the end of the day. Then for attack again, it's between Daher Onyeku and the. In fact, it's between three people: Samuel Chukwueze, Daher Onyeku, and the Kelechi Iheanacho.
Samuel Chukwueze, okay.
For me, I would think Samuel Chukwueze ahead of this three national for that rank. But for General, it's like he feel like Samuel Chukwueze for now. So if he come for Henry Onyeku, I don't think that Henry Onyeku is there. So he needs to fight for central striker. And for people that are there, I prefer even Victor Osimhen over Henry Onyeku as a central striker. And the Paul Onyak and the Gallo. I mean, three of them.
Okay.
So for Henry Onyeku now to fight for that this thing, winger, Uche Kalo is here. What Kalo have been doing. And Musa is there. And Moses Simon is there. Yeah. This Samuel Chukwueze, I prefer him because of his danger left shooter that he has.
All right,
so
Simon.
we need him.
All right.
So he's between Kelechi Iheanacho because Kelechi, I don't know, I would just because they're going to play him as a winger, as a central striker. There is space to put him.
All right,
so Kelechi should be dropped with Semi Ajayi.
All right, Simon, thank you so much for your thoughts. Good evening, welcome to today's Sports Lab. Okay, we lost that one. But of course, Simon's thinking, of course, asking one question too that I would be asking. If Kelechi Iheanacho finally makes it to the AFCON, which position would they actually be playing him? Would it be from the wings? Would it be behind the striker? Or even as a top nine, as we've seen him do for Manchester City? Good evening, welcome to today's Sports Lab. Sorry, please, just change your location a little. We are getting a lot of huge noise from the background. Good evening, welcome to today's Sports Live.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from? Hello.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you quickly.
Okay. See, I think Iheanacho should be dropped.
Iheanacho and who?
Yes, Iheanacho and alternatively Balogun.
Okay.
Because they've not had him so far.
All right.
It's quite obvious. I think both of them should just be dropped. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your thoughts. He thinks Iheanacho and of course Balogun should be dropped. But quickly on the goalkeeping position, Emeka, Daniel Akpeyi is going to be tried today in goal. Genocho is sounding helpless. If you ask me now, I don't even know who is my number one. At this point in time, he has sent a goalkeeper trainer to Zoho in, of course, Cyprus. It doesn't seem like it has worked out from his statement. Who would you opt for him to go with, as our number one to the Nations Cup?
He will still go with Francis Uzoho. He's just trying to test Akpeyi. Uzoho is the preferred choice. He's the first choice goalkeeper of the Super Eagles. But the recommendation most times comes from the goalkeeper trainers in the team. Enrico Pianetti and Aloy Ago. They are the ones in charge of that department. They work with these goalkeepers directly, and at the end of the day, they make their recommendations to the coach, who has the final say in terms of selection. And apparently, the man is still Uzoho, And for me, I would have said let's give another goalkeeper a chance.
Among the three we have.
Yeah, exactly. Leave Uzoho. Maybe give Ikechukwu Ezenwa a chance. I mean, he did well in the qualifiers for the World Cup. Did quite well, in those crucial games, those big games against Cameroon, against Algeria. Did well. Eventually, was able to hold his own. Nigeria qualified smoothly. All of a sudden, Uzoho came in and, took his place. And it's not as if Uzoho has been very brilliant, in goal and lots of questions. The last match was in goal for Nigeria against the Seychelles. Committed a blunder that led to the Seychelles team Pirates getting a goal in that encounter. At club level, he's not getting regular playing time. In Cyprus, where he's on loan with Anatosis from Augusta. You begin to wonder, a player, with Deportivo La Coruña, they got relegated to the second division. He was loaned out. You expected him to, get a regular shirt if he's that good, but unfortunately that's not the case. But what do I know? Coach knows better, and let's see what he brings to the table. For me, I would have gone with Ikechukwu Ezenwa, or even Akpeyi, who is in goal today.
All right, back to the phone lines. Good evening, welcome to Today Sports Live.
Hello, Obina.
Faith, welcome back. Quickly.
Yes, thank you. Please, about our Super Falcons. Yesterday, France were able to send the message to the other countries in the group. So I expect an upset from the girls tonight. I hope they will get something out of this.
All right, scoreline prediction, Faith.
Let me just say 2-1 or 2-0.
All right, thank you so much. Good evening, welcome to Today Sports Live.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yes, my name is Jonathan. I'm calling from Bayelsa.
Jonathan, welcome to the show.
I just left us alone and run.
Jonathan.
I asked the FC where you did the.
Are they here now? They put that.
I like the way they talk about sports. They talk the reality of the game. No way women pass Nigeria women. But we just expect miracles to happen. So that's just the truth. For me, they should drop in Yanacha. Totally.
Okay. Yanacha and who?
Yanacha should be dropped, and one of the guys, one guy, I don't know his name, sir. He plays around between EOB. Those wings.
Moses Simon?
To drop that ball. Yes, I believe so. He just tired on the pitch.
Okay. Thank you so much right there for your thoughts. And a lot of news around the Super Eagles. I'm sure it will build on this in the coming days. But let me get the predictions of the guys in the studio. We are facing Zimbabwe tonight, and it's a friendly game. There's really not much to play for. We've heard that Genoro would even test and rotate the squad as the case may be. But Chidubem, what's your prediction? Nigeria, Zimbabwe.
I think the Eagles will labor to a victory, perhaps a 1-0 victory, because I don't see the Zimbabweans scoring against us. No disrespect to them, but they are not the most formidable opponents we have faced in recent times, and defense is not that bad. I think we should be able to hold our own. But let me just chip in on that goalkeeping issue. I think the best of the three goalkeepers Nigeria have got at this moment is actually none of them are actually called up. The one that should be starting is on the provisional list, or what they call the standby team, Theophilus Afelohai. I think he should have started because he's been fantastic for Yimba this season.
I agree
he kept 13 clean sheets for Yimba in 22 matches.
Even when they were on the continent.
That is brilliant. I mean, in the league alone.
I mean, when they were on the continent, it's not today he's been there. And the question is, why doesn't he
Why
notice?
should Theophilus Afelohai be on the standby list when you have Ikechukwu Ezenwa on the team? You've got Daniel Akpeyi, who's mastered the art of disappointing Nigerians, and Francis Uzoho, who's practically nowhere. I mean, it just tells us that Genero is not thinking. He should think beyond what he has. I mean, try this. This is not a risk at this point. It's the stage where he doesn't have anything. So a man that is down, they say, fears no fall. You can't be afraid of trying new things when the ones you have are not even up to scratch. So I think he should have given Theophilus Afelohai should have been starting this game, because this is the game you should have used to see him. But for Angola, like I said, I think we are going to labor to a 1-0 victory. For Zimbabwe, rather. We're going to labor to a 1-0 victory, because I don't think the players will be killing themselves for this one. You can't afford to get injured now.
All right, Emeka, what's your prediction?
You have two players that can hurt us. Knowledge, Musona, and Kamabiliat, both play in the PSL in South Africa. If you are not careful, they might run away with the results here today. But it's a friendly game. I expect the Super Eagles to win 2-0 in favor of Nigeria.
Of course, pride is at stake, I tell you. They've never beaten us before. If they have managed to do this one, they might just be smiling at home with that one. But also they said they would get a chance to test their main team. Of course, that's why they came with the full list of players. Just before we run out of the studios, Arsenal have reportedly made a £12 million offer for Club Brugge for striker Emmanuel Dennis. According to Turkish outlet Fanatic, Arsenal and Lyon have both made £12 million bid for Dennis as he looks set to leave the Belgian club this summer. Updates coming in right there from the FPF.
Lobby Stars and Eyimba. Lobby Stars just pulled the goal back to make it 1-2. They are losing to Eyimba. Eyimba scored 2 goals in the first half, but then Lobby Stars have pulled one back. So it's halftime now, and is 1-2 in favor of Eyimba.
Hey, you, man. Hey. 0817, let's see if we can squeeze in 1 or 2 calls to get your predictions for the game against Zimbabwe tonight. 0817 0000 951 0810 9510 951. What's your prediction? The Super Eagles going to maybe well enough beat the team from Zimbabwe. Good evening, welcome to today's Sports Live.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from?
It's Arsenal Consultant.
All right, Arsenal Consultant, your prediction for the game tonight?
All right, before I will come for that, my worry is not about who will be dropped. My worry is about the points people are making now, the goal section in that team. It's shaking. The Ian and Shaw might, if Kenofra have come out and said that Ian and Shaw lacks confidence, I definitely believe Ian and Shaw will be dropped. Another person is John Oku. I don't know whether he has a position in that team.
All right.
So for me, a goal-keeping division is the problem of Super Eagles.
All right, thank you so much. Good evening, welcome to the Sports Live. Okay, we lost that one. The game is, of course, in front of our screens. Sunua Chidzangba, the coach of Zimbabwe, just flashing across our screen as much as our own Genotro right there. The game is about to kickstart. The players are already on the pitch. I'm sure we'll get to get fantastic one. Reports will be coming in tomorrow. I'm sorry I can't take any more of your calls. We have to run out immediately right here from the studio. My name is Wisdom Obina. I did the show with Emeka then, and of course, they brought in expert analysis. Same with Chidubem Njoku. The show makes a return tomorrow, same time. Until then, as always, Nigeria is already playing, so just keep it locked. Enjoy, of course, super football coming in right there from the Super Eagles. Go out tonight and have for yourself a football field evening.
No matter the stage, it's still
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Very good evening, and here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. My name is Ifeami Andrew.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.